It's that crazy time of year where it almost feels like Groundhog Day. Especially as a maker, it's making stuff, sending emails, posting on social media, packaging orders, repeat. And when most of us bring in the majority of our annual revenue this time of year, it's also the feeling of needing to do more to optimize sales, but also feeling overwhelmed and needing to manage family time, our personal lives, and to take care of our mental health and our bodies. Then there's the comparison trap of social media, where it looks like everyone else is more on top of their content game, more organized, or selling more stuff. It really is a roller coaster, but I hope you enjoy coming along on this chaotic week and we'll get through it together.
Hello. There is so much going on today and the energy is high. The shop update happened 2 days ago, so today I'm gonna sit down and package all of the orders. But it's also opening day of our ski mountain, so I think I'm gonna meet up with a couple friends just to take a couple of laps and then get home and hunker down and get through these orders. But we are 2 weeks away from my big holiday market down in Denver, so I have a lot to make still to make sure I can stock my booth. But between now and then, I also have a wedding I have to go to in California, so we have to travel for that. Next week is Thanksgiving, so it is crazy. And then also Monday, today is Saturday, Monday is the booking deadline for the Iceland trip, so I'm also trying to make sure anyone who has been interested that they know and that it's their last chance to book the Iceland trip. So it's a little bit chaotic, but we're gonna get it all done. So let's go ski first, and then we will come back and jump back into the studio. That was so nice just taking a few laps. I'm very lucky because we live about 10 minutes from the mountain, so it's easy to go up there for just a couple of runs. And of course, it's opening day, so everyone we know is there. We live in a pretty small town, so it's very easy to just run into a bunch of people you know. I'm gonna clean up the table so that we can start packaging all of the orders from the shop update and really just get back to prepping because there's a lot to make, and I'm feeling very equal parts. I need to make as much as possible, but also it is what it is. It's gonna happen no matter what. I'll have a full booth and it'll be okay. Of course, last night I also just got so distracted. Hi, Aria. I just got this idea for a new beanie design. And I was like, Shireen, you cannot start working on this new design right now. You have to just make stuff. But of course I got out my Stitch dictionaries. I have the alternate Stitch dictionary and it has kind of different colorwork designs, motifs, I guess. And then the Vogue knitting, and it has different textured knit stitches. So I have an idea. I want to chart it out today. I don't know if I'll get a chance to. Things are chaotic, but I also am feeling very calm about them, surprisingly. Mostly because I think I have realized that because I'm in this transition phase for the business and there are a lot of new things that I've already been working on and will be releasing next year. It's just all kind of clashing now with the holiday sales season happening where I need to be sitting and making products and not focusing as much on these more big picture things that I'll be launching next year. So yeah, it's a lot of marketing. It's funny, I've been starting to more diligently track my phone, what I'm using on the phone. And so I feel like my screen time has gone up a little bit this week because I posted on Instagram every day during the week, which I normally don't do. Normally I post maximum 3 times a week, but there were so many different things to share about that I almost feel like I needed to post more just to make sure it wasn't that I got all of the info out there, I guess. But at the same time, I'm is that actually not a good idea because you're then just bombarding your audience? But anyway, we could talk about that later because I do have some thoughts on how the shop update went and what I could have done better and what I think about it. So, but let's get this table cleaned up, package some orders, and then we can chat. I totally forgot to show you, but I got new tags made. I just made some slight changes to the hang tag. Not a ton, but I changed the back a little bit. And then I also got the new inserts. So updated the photo and then changed a little bit of the text. And then added more info about Discord and the retreats. So I'm excited to start using the new cards. And a couple of you were asking, but I basically do all of my designs on Canva. So like for this thank you card, I designed it in Canva and then I use Vistaprint for the printing. I've tried to use Eco-Enclose for my tags, which is where I get all of my other packaging, and it's all recycled and recyclable, and it's a local sustainable company, but they did not have the craft tags that I wanted, and the ones that I tried were really thin and just didn't feel as good quality for some reason. And then same with the cards. So I just really like the thickness of the cards from Vistaprint. So not as much of a sustainable company, but they still offer recycled paper for the cards and then the recycled craft for the tags. So just in case you were curious. Okay, orders are packaged, and I really need to get back to doing some more knitting, but I wanted to chat a little bit about how the shop update went, and let me just say it's one of the slowest shop updates I've had in a while, actually, and I had all kinds of feelings about it, and I think a lot of it is that it's been really warm, and I don't think I'm even ready for the holidays, so I don't know if everyone's kicking into that shopping mindset yet. Another thing is, I know everyone keeps talking about the economy, but I feel like maybe that does have an effect, and the first people that are affected are sellers of handmade luxury goods. They're not need-to-haves, they're want-to-haves, and, you know, I sell a luxury product, like it's ethically and sustainably sourced 100% wool, and so that's just going to cost more. Like my yarn costs are high, so of course the finished product of a handmade good is going to be high. Wool is very premium, especially 100% wool, especially when it's ethically and sustainably sourced and has all of those Okotex certifications, for example. So that's one thing. Another reason I think is because, like I was mentioning earlier this week, or maybe it's the last vlog, but this week was just so chaotic leading up to my shop update. I had deadlines for the Iceland trip that I was marketing. I had affiliate deliverables that I needed to post. And so I didn't really share a lot about the shop update until pretty much the day before and the day of. So, and mostly in stories. And so I think, you know, typically when I do a shop launch, I am sharing things at least 2 weeks in advance, like sneak peeks, behind the scenes, getting that kind of excitement up for the shop update. And nowadays, and I think we've talked about this so much, but on Instagram, for example, which is still one of my main channels for marketing, there's just so much going on. And especially now, everyone's also shifted their Black Friday sales to earlier. And so there's a ton of like posts and emails and just constant stuff around that. But I think there's just so much noise. And again, I just didn't do a very good job of marketing it, you know what I mean? And it's only been 2 days, and typically over the course of the week, like in my last shop update, I think I ended up tripling the amount of orders I got from day 1 and 2 over the course of the week. So it's only been a couple days, but it is also getting close to the holidays. So it is going to be interesting to see how the rest of this season goes. If you watch my vlog about selling at local shops, I have actually noticed that in the last couple of years, I do get more local shop sales than I do online. I'm also doing a really big market in a couple of weeks, so I'm really needing to stock up for that, and I'm hoping that more people are actually gravitating towards in-person markets. And this market is in the city, which I've never done before, and it's going to be a whole new group of people who have never seen my stuff before, so I'm curious about how that's going to look. And another thing I was thinking about is I try not to send too many emails. I know my inbox has been so flooded with the Black Friday emails, I almost just kind of glaze over. And I basically just sent my weekly newsletter that kind of showed some sneak peeks of the shop update and then a shop update announcement email after that. And right now, because there's so many people sending Black Friday and sales emails are probably also getting lost a little bit more. So there are a lot of factors. Who really knows, right? Also, right now, all of those huge stores are doing mega discounts, and even a lot of makers I see are doing discounts for their products. And as a handmade seller, it is really hard to offer a big discount on your products because our margins are already pretty slim. And I think the topic of pricing can actually be its own video. I know a lot of people price their products a lot lower than mine. And I don't know how they are actually making enough to survive. Maybe it's just, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with everyone. I know for me, my business has to support me fully. I mean, I do feel fortunate that I have a partner, he has a job, but we are equal partnership in our bringing home of income. So my business has to do well too. But anyway, it's different for everyone. And I think pricing is just such a hot topic, especially in the handmade world and the makers community. But I'll do a video about that, hopefully releasing it soon. If you have any thoughts or questions or whatever about that, just put them in the comments below. But yeah, of course I've had some self-doubt, like, is this going to be a bad season? I've seen a lot of other small business owners saying it's the worst season they've ever seen. And so far for me, it has definitely been a slow start, but my numbers are still pretty good. I'll probably do a year-end review and talk a little bit more about how this year went. But another thing is I personally am also in this mid-pivot transition phase. So the energy that I used to put into marketing and doing these launches was not really there. It was more putting it towards the Iceland trip and building this new community on Discord and YouTube even. So I think next year's going to look a lot different. I have big plans for next year, which I'm very excited about. The beanies are never going to go away. I will always be a knitter, and I will always have my handmade creations as part of my brand and business. But things are going to look different. And if you're new here, I also have a second business where I do private chef work and catering. And after this summer, I committed to taking an entire year off of doing that, at least, because there was these new things that I want to implement with Smeeney that I just wasn't able to do when I was doing that business. And that business I was only doing for 3 months of the year. I was only doing it from June, July, and August. And that even just felt like too much. And it wasn't giving me the time to make the changes that I wanted to in the business to really push this new branch forward. So lots of thoughts, lots of things. But I guess also I just wanted to tell you that if you've also had a slow start to the season, you're not alone. I'm having a slow start. I don't know what it's gonna look like. And there is a little bit of this like imposter syndrome, like part of the new branch of my business, hosting these small business retreats and creating this community and having more small business resources is to help other makers be more aligned in their business and their life. And I feel like I am in alignment, and having a healthy, profitable business is also a part of that. So just a lot of thoughts, and I just want to be honest with you and transparent, because I know a lot of like the studio vlogs on YouTube can be really glamorized. There are a lot of makers on here that do so like crazy and are making a ton of money right now. But for me, it's been slow so far. But I'm curious to see what the next few weeks holds.
Okay, update. I spent a lot of time knitting last night, and I feel so accomplished from yesterday because not only did I get outside and go skiing, I got all the orders packaged, and I still knit 8 beanies, which is like a lot. But I basically got home and just hunkered down on the couch, watched some Outlander, and knit a bunch of stuff. It is a really kind of crappy weather day today. Which I'm almost just giddy about, because a lot of the time when it's nice out, I feel compelled to go outside, and if I have to do things inside, I feel guilty about it. And right now, it's early in the ski season, so it's not even like this snow is like a powder day or anything. It's just adding to our base. So I made 8 yesterday. If I can do that again today, I will feel very good, because I'm still going up and down with panicking about not having enough stuff for this market that I have in a couple weeks. But today is Sunday. I usually don't send more than 1 email to my newsletter, but I guess of all the times, now is the time to send multiple emails, and tomorrow is the last day of my 20% off coupon that I have as an exclusive offer to email list subscribers. And you know, I think we talked about it, but as a handmade seller, it's really hard to offer big discounts, and you just cannot compete with the big stores or even like someone who gets their products manufactured, because for us, it's a lot of time and care, and the materials are expensive. So if you're a maker, just make sure that you are not losing money by offering big sales, because this is ultimately our livelihood. I think a lot of people feel like they need to do Black Friday, they need to do all these crazy sales, but you don't. So I offered a 20% off coupon just for email list subscribers, just as a thank you, because I also equally want to show that I appreciate my community. But anyway, so that's part of it. And then I also created like an outdoorsy, women-led, sustainable small business gift guide. So I'm going to send that along. Oh, there's just so many things. But let's get this email sent out, and then come have a cozy knitting day with me. I'm not saying you should never have sales. I think there is a strategic way to do it. It's more that pricing is so important, because if we're going to offer discounts, or if you're going to sell wholesale, it's so important that you at least have your costs covered and are making a little bit of a profit on top of that, because ultimately that's how we can have a long-term, full-time, sustainable business.
Whew, I feel like this is the most I've emailed my list. I emailed them on my weekly newsletter day, I did it on shop update day, and now I'm doing it on Sunday. It feels so like a lot, which is funny because that's just the time of year. And I think I've talked about this a bunch, where before I'd send a shop update email, sell out everything within 24 hours. But lately I've realized that people are still buying. I just need to remind them. And I did get another couple orders yesterday afternoon, so I'm going to try to package those today as well and just get them sent out. As you know, sometimes shipping takes longer this time of year, so just trying to get everything out as quickly as possible. But it feels good to be, I guess, taking action on making this business happen and work, because I feel like for a lot of us makers and small business owners, it's so different from a couple of years ago that you just think, oh no, am I failing? Do people not like my stuff anymore? My business isn't working, my marketing isn't working, but it's not true. We just have to change and adapt how we're marketing and how we're sharing our work. And you know, I expressed yesterday, I've had those moments of self-doubt too. Like, is this gonna happen still? Like, is my business still the business that I thought it was? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I still love what I do so much. I believe in the values of my brand so much. And I want to share that with everyone and empower people to use their voice too. And no, because I feel like I have also grown and changed and realigned. And now there are new things on the horizon. I'm also learning from the past and adapting to what it looks like now. Okay, it is Monday, it is Thanksgiving week, it is crunch time. There's so much going on. This is the pile of knits that I made over the weekend, and then this morning I just spent some time making a to-make list because I feel like if I don't have a checklist, then it feels like, oh my gosh, what should I make next? But this week I'm kind of focusing on just getting more headbands made because I've only been making beanies. I do offer headbands and cowls as well, and I think it's nice to have a little bit more variety and some price point differences. And last year I made knit ornaments that were super cute, but I don't know if I'll have time for it this year. But the big thing is we're leaving on Thursday, so we're flying on Thanksgiving Day. Because we have a wedding to go to, and we have not gone home for Thanksgiving in like 12 years. So I'm a little anxious about being gone because when we get back, I have that big holiday market down in the city. But this week I have a friend coming to help me, and she's gonna help put palms and tags on all of the beanies, so I'm gonna be training her on how to do that. So hopefully while I'm gone, she can also be doing that, and when I get back, it's really just making more stuff and getting everything together for the market. But I'm actually feeling really good. I feel like I could be feeling really overwhelmed right now, but I'm actually feeling super motivated and energized. I think actually knocking out a lot of inventory over the weekend felt really good. And this week's just that weird week, you know, a holiday week. So I'm just like focus on making stuff. And then, I also got a couple of new orders in. So I'm going to package and ship those. Oh, and another thing, I am only like less than 100 hours away from reaching the 4,000 hour mark for monetization, so I'm very excited. It was kind of a quiet goal that I had for the end of this year, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna reach it, so I didn't want to like push myself and put that pressure on myself, but I'm so close now that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's possible. So I don't know. I just love YouTube so much. It is 2:30, 2:40 almost. So I'm finally eating some lunch, and I've made 4 headbands so far. I also posted on Instagram and on Threads today. I've been trying to be more efficient with my time on those apps because right now it's like there's a lot of info to share, so I want to be present, but at the same time there's a lot to do. So I just have been using my daily tracker. So far today it says I've spent an hour and 15 minutes on Instagram, so that includes posting stories, creating a post, and engaging a tiny bit, and then 25 minutes on Threads. So I feel pretty good about that, and I feel like I'm actually making good progress with making stuff. But I'm gonna have some lunch and take a break and not work on things. I think we need to like separate it a little bit. Maybe I'll go check the mail and just get outside for a second, and then keep going.
Because you're pursuing something that is personally just for you and that you want.
I'm so excited. My friend Beth is here today helping me put palms and tags on beanies. So I'm just training her on how to do that, and it's honestly such a relief because, as you know, I have that big market coming up down in Denver, and then I also have like shop updates and sending stuff to Wuhan and stuff like that. So it's just a ton of inventory, and I realized like putting palms and tags on is a task that I am easily able to train someone else to help me do. So she's helping me today. And we have already gotten through a ton of beanies. Like we're clearing the shelves of the ones that I'm having her palm and tag, but I'm gonna film a quick video of how I put tags on so that she can just take it and run with it. And like I said, I'm traveling for a wedding this weekend, which is insane, right before the market. So hopefully she can also take some and do them while I'm gone. It's so much, but as a small business owner, as you know, we wear a ton of hats, but there are things that you can ask for help with, and it's okay to accept that help, and we need to sometimes, and ultimately, it's really nice because we just get to hang out together, catch up, chat, and work on stuff, so it's actually the best of both worlds. But I'm gonna film that tutorial, we're gonna crank through these things, and I'm just gonna keep knitting. Okay, so we have the beanie front left. Don't forget to leave the same level as that first stitch. Okay, I made a huge mistake. No, not a huge mistake. I'm just being dramatic. But it was so nice working with Beth earlier today and training her up on how to do palms and tags. I'm feeling grateful that I have someone in my life where she's like, I want something that I can just do really part-time. I think for me, the biggest hesitation in hiring help, honestly, has been I don't want someone else depending on me. I don't want to, you know, if I need to change my schedule or like, you know, if it's a snow day and I want to go up and ski in the morning, I don't want someone to depend on that scheduling. But this works out great because she basically, you know, we worked on those hats for a couple of hours and then I sent her with the rest of them in boxes and then she can just do them at home and log her hours. Oh, but back to my mistake. It's not a mistake. But she took most of the beanies with her, you know. But I forgot that I had an order for one of the ones that she took, so I had to make one really quickly. But I have a couple of other orders that I remembered to hold back the beanies for, so we're gonna package those and drop them off. I'm feeling equally really amazing that she's helping me get those palmed and tagged. There are still a lot of other ones to palm and tag that I have here. We have
a little over a week until the big market, but I also am going to be traveling for a wedding, so I can only bring so much yarn with me to knit, and then when I get back, that means I have to palm and tag all of those. I'm just starting to feel like I don't have enough stuff, but I guess at the same time that's also the creativity in making the booth look nice and vibrant. We'll see how it goes. I mean, that's why I'm documenting this journey on YouTube, to see how it goes and to see how I can be continuously changing and growing and aligning and realigning and pivoting and all that stuff. So,
What I've been learning the most this week is really just acknowledging the chaos and that this is just a chaotic part of the year, and that's okay. Another thing too is when sales are slower, it makes you feel like you're not succeeding even when you are working hard and showing up and doing all the things. But at the same time, when those sales are slower, it's okay to also zoom out a little bit and remember the bigger picture, remember the why behind your business, and it's also a chance to recalibrate and realign and take note on things that you might want to change for next year. And all of it really is just a part of the ebb and flow of running a business. At the end of the day, it's just important to not give into comparison, to be present, and to just always be learning and growing.